Good afternoon and welcome back to Girded with Truth. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon as we continue our series Discovering Your Assignment. Today we're looking at receiving our process, and we're going to go to the book of Job because we know that Job has been processed by God. Job chapter 1 verses 7 to 12 says, "And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in all the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord." And the story continues to talk about all that Job was afflicted with after Satan departed from the presence of God. But the book of Job also started off by saying there was an upright man who feared the Lord. And Job was that upright man who was righteous and who feared the Lord. And a lot of times we think because we fear God and because we are walking with God that bad things should not happen to us. But here we are seeing Satan has gone about the earth looking for people to destroy. And the Lord said, but my servant Job is righteous and upright. And he's saying that about you today, that you are righteous and upright. You are walking in his path. But Satan, the accuser of the brethren, has come to see what he can find to accuse you. And Satan told God, well, Job only fearing you because you've given him things and because he has so much things. And you feel and see that hedge of protection around Job, and God is saying, well, Job loves me, he fears me because he is righteous and upright. But Satan is saying, no, that is not the case. So God said, okay, let us try him. Let us see what kind of person Job really is. And God is saying, that's about you today, He's saying that, no matter what test I send their way, they will stand firm in me. They will stand uprightly, and they will stand in righteousness and holiness, because that is my servant, that is my son, that is my child, that is my friend. That is the one I chose for the assignment. And as we discover our assignment, we also receive a process, because God processes us for where we are about to go. And Job chapter 13 verse 15 says, Though he slay me, yet will I trust him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. So Job is saying here, Satan could bring it on. He could afflict me, he could do me what he wants, but I love the Lord. I am in relationship with him. He says that no matter what is happening with him, whether it's good, whether it's bad, he will receive it, and he will maintain his way, his position, his lifestyle before the Lord. All these things were taken away from Job: his children, his friends, his house, his animals, his wealth. Everything was taken away from Job. But you know what Job said? They can take everything away from me, but they cannot take my worship. Job kept his position, and he decided no matter what was happening, he would serve God no matter what. Job chapter 23 verse 10 says, But he knoweth the way that I take, and when he had tried me, I shall come forth as gold. And Job knew that no matter what was happening in his life, if he stuck with God, then he will come through as pure gold. He will come through refined, that no matter what process comes his way, however God chooses to process him, whatever he uses, even he thinks that the enemy is trying, that he will come forth as pure gold. He would come forth refined, and he would be able to stand in the truth of God. Job did not fight the process that God was taking him through, but instead he received it, and he declared that at the end of the day, God is faithful. He declared that if God slays him, he will remain faithful to God. He declared that no matter what happened, that he is standing with God and standing in the truth of what God has done for him and who God has called him to be. He is standing in the truth of his assignment. And a lot of times when we have been anointed with an assignment, when we have discovered our assignment, we reject the process that God has given to us, that God has put us in to bring us forth as gold. And today God is saying that he wants you to come forth as gold, but you have to submit and receive his process. Job chapter 42 verses 10 to 12 says, "And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earning of gold. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels, and a yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she-asses." So we see here that money being the lowest value of blessing that God can give to you, because God blessed Job by taking him through a process. He was a righteous man, yes, but God saw a way where he could bless him with a double portion. God saw a way where he can try Job and show the enemy that Job is with him, that Job is his child. And so too, God is making a boast in you. You might feel like you are in a hard place. You might feel like you have lost so much. You might feel like you're in a hopeless place, but God is saying, no, not so. Arise and believe on him. Arise and realize that he has you in a process. Do not fight the process, but instead receive the process. And soon, when God has tried you and you have come forth as gold, he will bless you with a double portion, with everlasting blessings. Those that once saw you as being cursed, or saw you as being afflicted, or saw you as being in a rejected place, will rise up and call you blessed, will rise up and even bless you with things beyond your wildest dreams. You are in that place because you are in relationship with God, and because he is calling you to a deeper place with him. He wants you to receive your process, because unless you receive your process, you cannot discover your assignment. So today, God is calling you out to receive your process and discover your assignment and walk in glory with him. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.